At the beginning of June, UNL Weed Science Extension educator Lowell Sandell said producers were having trouble controlling mare's tail in Nebraska fields. The concern was that due to the weed's resistance, it was becoming difficult to control. In July, UNL will be holding field days to discuss the history and importance of weed resistance in Nebraska and the country. We talked with Lowell about why this issue is now getting more attention.
Weed resistance, or more specifically glyphosate-resistant weeds, have been a pretty big topic across the southern United States and in a large portion of the Midwest. Nebraska has been somewhat spared, but I think we're starting to catch up with the rest of the country. These field days are sponsored by the Nebraska Soybean Board, and we think it's a really important topic for soybean producers to keep an eye on. And you know, we've talked about mare's tail, but we've also seen glyphosate-resistant giant ragweed and glyphosate-resistant kochia develop in the state. And before these populations get too far out of hand, we think some educational efforts are needed for the ag community here in Nebraska.
What's the backstory behind why these weeds are becoming so resistant? Farmers just continuing to stay on the same discipline, same program?
Yeah, well, for a lot of reasons, folks have chosen to rely primarily on glyphosate, and that has worked well for a number of years. But when you rely so heavily on a single tool or a single mode of action for control, eventually nature will push back a little bit, and we're seeing that in the form of glyphosate-resistant weeds developing here in the state.
What advice do you give to farmers then, and what will you be talking about at these field days to show what options farmers have?
Yeah, diversity is the key. We've talked about integrated weed management for many years, and just diversifying the tactics, which is more than just spraying herbicides. A diversity of herbicides is good crop rotation, good cultural practices, on top of diversifying your herbicide mode of action or use in crops. So that's kind of the message that we're going to have. We're going to have some live or some field plots that we hope will demonstrate some of these concepts and get across to producers just how difficult some of these weeds can be to control when we've lost one of our primary tools, such as glyphosate, for adequate control.
The Weed Resistant Management Field Days will be held in Big Springs on July 11th and David City on July 12th. The program is free to attend and sponsored by the Nebraska Soybean Board. Participants are, however, encouraged to register by July 6th, so plans can be made for teaching resources and meals.